Let's look at the error, cannot truncate table, and usually there will be something else in the error. So in SQL Server 2008 and above it, there are certain restrictions to truncating a table. One of them is if it's referenced in a foreign key. This is probably the most common. I think most people run across this one very quickly. Another restriction is that tables that are part of an indexed view, for instance, if your table is included in an indexed view, you're not going to be able to truncate the table. And then, of course, tables that are published using either transactional or merge replication. So if you get that error, you want to check if you if any of those three things apply. The other thing I'll say is that sometimes you'll have application processes that perform deletes. They'll delete an entire table and then they'll refill it or whatnot. And it may be, well, why is it that it can't do a truncate? And that's one of the things that you want to evaluate. Is it referenced in a foreign key? Some applications, they're not going to be able to perform a truncate because of that reason. I can't truncate a table if it's, let's say it's referenced in a foreign key, so my application may attempt to truncate the table. If it doesn't, then it just will delete star from the table, right? Or delete from the table, I should say. So keep that in mind. If you ever run into a situation where you're like, well, why doesn't this application just run a truncate instead of a delete? Maybe the application is built to attempt to truncate, and if it fails, then attempt to delete, and if it fails, then it'll catch it. But the idea is the reason some of the applications are written that way is if any of these restrictions apply, they're going to have to perform a delete in some cases, then over, I should say, a truncate. Now, of course, there are exceptions on deletes as well to some of these items. I know for a fact that if a table is published downstream with, let's say, merge or transactional replication, it can still be deleted from. But that's not always the case if you have a situation depending on how you write the delete with foreign keys. So keep these restrictions in mind. If you are running a truncate table and you get an error that says cannot truncate table, or if you have an application that's running a delete star or the equivalent thereof, keep these restrictions in the back of your mind.